We have Kait Warman back with us to talk about dating, and today we're going to be talking about boundaries with your ex. Boundaries. May not be the sexiest word in the dictionary, but wow. Is it needed to allow your heart to fully heal after a heartbreak? Because you know what? When we go through a heartbreak, you need to learn how to healthily cope to get through this. And you are only responsible for yourself.
That's right, girl. We're only responsible for us, girl. So if that's the case, then you need to take boundaries seriously and do the things to really protect your heart and your mind.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about some of those boundaries, shall we?
Yes.
One of the first things I recommend for women to do after a breakup is to, honestly, this one's the hardest, go cold turkey in communication.
Rip that Band-Aid off.
Just stop talking. And I know this one's one of the hardest, but let me tell you, when you continue to talk to them, what it does is bring you tons of false hope. Every time you communicate with them, it's like, ooh, I like talking with them. Ooh, maybe they miss me, or ooh, maybe I miss them. It's really, really bad false temptation or temptations that lead into false hope. So ladies, just go cold turkey. Just do it. All right, the second biggest breakup boundary that I recommend is to remove things in your life that remind you of that person.
So good.
In a really big breakup I had a few years ago, I actually had to redecorate some of my house. My mom came over, we made it like a fun little thing because that guy had helped me move into that house. So there were so many memories of things we had picked out together or him helping me hang things in my house. So we kind of redecorated it and it was really helpful. And honestly ended up being really fun. So remove those things that make you think of that ex-boyfriend. All right, third boundary is to also lock up and throw away the key with the photos that you have of this person, photos and videos. So if they're on your phone and you're like, oh, but it's reminiscing and nostalgia and I don't want to forget the memories. Okay, put it into a folder and lock it up. Put a password on it, maybe tell a friend what the password is, but don't keep those things in your main folder of photos because it's way too easy to go back and look through those photos. And even the text message, delete that text thread.
Yes. Well, you know, the other thing too to add to that is how would you like it if you met this amazing guy, you started dating him, and all of a sudden you find all these old pictures and videos of his past girlfriends, right? You wouldn't want a guy to have that.
Very
so
cool.
You need to get rid of that yourself.
Yeah.
So the fourth thing of what not to do after a breakup is do not follow this guy anymore on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Snapchat, whatever. You need to unfollow him. You need to unfriend him because you need to protect your mind. You need to have incredible boundaries. Otherwise, you know what you're going to do? You're going to be a creeper. And you know one night, late at night, you're going to be creeping over all that he's been doing. So just protect yourself. Don't put yourself in that position.
You'll become Mrs. Sherlock Holmes. Come on, ladies.
Don't do that.
I know you're going to be doing it.
No.
I've done it. Another thing, if you really don't want to defriend him or whatever, especially like on Instagram, there's something called the mute button. Thank you, Instagram, for developing this. You basically can mute their profile and therefore they never pop up on your feed. You never see their Insta stories. This is about being wise. And let me just say this, it's not mean to unfollow them.
No
it's not
way.
mean. It's healthy.
Oh,
it's healthy. If you're worried about, oh, I'm gonna offend him. No, girl, do what's best for your heart.
Yes, 100%. So the fifth thing also is look at the social outings that you are going to that he might also be at. I've had tons of girlfriends where after they go through a breakup, they're like, but Sarah, we go to the same church, we have the same group of friends, and if I go to this birthday party or if I go to this organizational event, he might potentially be there. Well, you know what that means, ladies? You are just gonna have to go through a period of time in your life where you do not attend those events. You just don't, because protecting your heart is way more important than showing your face at an event. And if you guys go to the same church, you know what you could also do? Look at going to different service times.
Yeah.
You know, just go to a different service time. Stay at the same church, stay in the same group of friends, but just really protect yourself from areas where he might be.
And it's just for a season of time. It's not forever. I know it might suck right now, but it's just for a season of time. Eventually, you'll be able to go to the same things and maybe be able to see them, and it's okay, right? Let me just tell you guys a very quick story. So a few years ago, when I went through a really big heartbreak, you know, we actually did go cold turkey for about a month and a half. And then I actually reached out because I was like, you know what? I'm doing fine. I'm fine. We have really good boundaries. We started talking a little bit again. And, you know, through the course of talking, he ended up admitting that he kind of missed me, or we started being nostalgic, remembering old times. And my heart started feeling like, oh, well, maybe this means he still misses me and maybe he still actually wants to be with me. I started feeling the false hope flare up. And eventually I brought it to his attention and I was like, oh, you know, like, what does this mean? Does this mean like maybe we should have a conversation? And ladies, I will tell you, the next words really hit my heart in a negative way, although he didn't mean it in a really mean way. He said, you know what, Kate, you deserve somebody who is going to keep you as their very first choice. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is the moment when I realized, you know what? I will be someone's first choice. I will be. But if I continue to let him talk to me and if I allow that into my life and don't have really strict boundaries, I'm going to continue to live in false hope. So this is a turning point for me. And I realized I had to be even stricter with my boundaries. Therefore, I asked him, hey, we got to go to different church service times. I actually can't talk with you. And actually, I even blocked him on social media, not because I didn't want to see what he was doing, just because I knew for my heart, if I saw what he was doing, it would be hard for me. Not only that, if I saw him liking my stuff or looking at my stuff, it gave me false hope that he was thinking about me. So I had to set really extra strict boundaries. And 4 or 5 months later, when I saw him finally in person, my heart was so much better and much more prepared and healed because I went really, really strict with these boundaries.
Yeah. So ladies, your challenge this week is to not do any of the things that we discussed after a breakup.